Hello everyone, hope all of you are in good health. Exactly, there's 1 week for UPSC mains exam to go, and I can completely understand the emotion that must be running through you. I had given 4 mains, and I can completely understand and empathize the state of mind that you are in at the present stage. So, in today's video, I'll be explaining or I'll be helping you out in how to handle this pressure, the anxiety at the present point of time, and also how to remain calm and confident, and also the do's and don'ts 1 week for the exam and also on the day of the exam, which is equally important. So coming to the first part, that is 1 week for the exam to go. First thing what you have to do is you have to give at least one full length mock test. So preferably I would advise all of you to give at least 2 full length mock tests. But the catch here is, please don't get it evaluated, or don't even check your marks even if it is evaluated. So because this is more to do with your confidence level, and at the same time you need to know the kind of mental and physical exertion that you have to undergo when you're giving this exam for 27 hours from your compulsory paper to your optional papers, all the paper included, which is spread over 5 days. So that becomes very important, because you should not be surprised or should not feel exhausted on the actual day of the exam, right? So that is the reason experiencing this, the simulation test or the open marks, is so important. So this is the first thing that you have to do. Second thing is, set your biological clock. See, till now, whatever your preparation time or sleep or having food, right, that is fine. But at least for 1 week from now, make sure that you set your clock cycle, biological clock cycle to from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. So these are the time period on which you should be actually very active, and also take your food accordingly. That also becomes very important, because it doesn't matter you are active in the after the evening hours or during the night hours, but all that matters is that 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. So please make sure that you set your biological clock accordingly. And next is the mindset that is actually required to handle the pressure or anxiety in the next 1 week, which is very important here. First thing is, what we usually do is, when the exam is nearing, the first thing is we start self-doubting ourselves, because you're not completed the syllabus, or you're comparing yourself to your friends, and they have completed like tests from 2 institutions or 3 institutions, whereas you would have just written 10 tests or 12 tests, whatever it is. Right, here you need to tell yourself that nobody can complete the syllabus, right? 99% of the people, of the students who are appearing for mains, will not be able to complete the syllabus. So there's no need to fret about it. All that you have to do is revise and take the feedback, the feedback that is given by your mentors. Work on that. That is more important here. Fine. You need to remember that each one of you have equal chance of clearing this exam at this point of time. So it's all in your hands. And you should also remember that there are more than 1,000 vacancies this time. So there's a good chance of you cracking this mains exam. So you need to believe in yourself. And also, please don't go behind any new things or new compilations. That is the wrong, that can be the worst thing that can happen to you. So please try to revise your own notes, the feedback that is given by your mentors, and work on it. And even when you're revising, make sure that the GS1 is done in the last 2 days, because it is more of fact oriented, and wherein you need to remember a lot of things. So you can go with like from your GS4, 3, 2 and 1, finally 1. So that way it would be better. And coming to the compulsory paper as well. So those, see, most of us take our own mother tongue as the one of the papers. So what happens is, though we are comfortable in our mother tongue, while writing it becomes a little difficult for some of them. So what you can do is, you can spend at least half an hour daily writing with your mother tongue. Right, you can ask somebody to read out an article or paper, and you can just write it. Right, do that for half an hour at least. And now coming to on the day of the exam, right? What should be your mindset? What should be your strategy? All that. So the first thing is that I have come across is the number of questions to attempt. Right. So again, there's no fixed rule. So I would suggest that rather than writing 13 or 14 best answers, try to write 20 good enough answers, because even mathematically, when you calculate it, it's always better if you write 20 good enough answers. And coming to the next question, should I be writing all the 20 questions even if I do not know? So the answer to that is, if you do not have any iota of knowledge on a particular question, especially when it comes to technical questions, like it can be science and tech or anything for that matter, please don't attempt it. Instead of that, you can focus on the remaining 19 questions. That should be the strategy. And also, common sense also will definitely help you a lot. See, in 2016, there was this question on Coilo case. The first part of the question in JS2 said, what is Coilo case? majority of them, I would say 90% of them didn't know what was that Coelho case. But the second part gave an hint that it was something related to judicial review or the 10th schedule. So the common sense and presence of mind will definitely help you a lot. So please make sure that you read the question at least 2 to 3 times before attempting it. That becomes very, very important here again. And coming to whether should I attempt 10 marker first or 15 marker first. See, there's nothing like first you have to attempt 15 and 10 marker later. It's not like that. I would suggest the best strategy would be, see, everybody has their own strategy. You can work on it. But if you ask me what would be the better strategy or best strategy that has worked for many students, it would be, you can go with the same order from 1 to 20. Say there are 10 marker and 10 15 marker questions. You can go from 1 to 10. Say there probably 6th or 9th question you're not very sure or you're not very confident. You can just skip that and start off with the 15 marker. After attempting from 1 to 10, the 11th question is a 15 marker. You can go with that. So complete all the 15 marker and then come to these 2 questions that you have left in a 10 marker and you can complete the paper. So that would be the strategy. That would be the strategy for GS papers. Coming to ethics, whether should I attempt case studies first or should I attempt theory? Again, here go with the same pattern from 1 to 14 questions or whatever it is. Go with the same order. Wherever you do not know, you just skip that theory question and then after solving the case studies, you can still come back. So this is one strategy. Or you can just allocate the first hour for solving the theory questions first, then go to the case studies, solve it and come back to the theory questions later. So that can be the other strategy. Why am I suggesting you to write the theory questions first initially, at least for an hour, is because you will get a lot of facts. You will try to recollect a lot of codes, facts, theory, etc., which will be very helpful in solving case studies as well. And sometimes what happens is when you're taking the first case study and you're attempting it in the initial hour, sometimes it so happens that you're trying to be more overcautious, and if say suppose you spend 20 or 25 minutes on the first case study, then obviously then the rest of the questions or completing the paper itself becomes a very difficult task. So that is the reason this strategy you can adopt. And coming to essay, there are different strategies. Some people brainstorm, then write an essay, then brainstorm on the second essay and then write an essay. But I would suggest that brainstorming of both essays should be done in the first half an hour or first 40 minutes, like say 15 to 20 minutes of brainstorming on each essay should be done, so that you're free completely to write an essay, both the essays, and you can still manage it because you would have already brainstormed. What will happen is, say suppose you brainstorm on the first essay, you write an essay, say that takes 1.5 hours, then finally you're left with only say suppose 1.5 hour or even 1 hour 45 minutes, then there's a time crunch for the second essay, right? So in that pressure situation, I don't know how your mind would work, right? It's very difficult. It cannot work at the same capacity as that you had adopted for the first essay. So that is the reason brainstorming of both the essays in the initial hours or initial 30 minutes or 40 minutes is much better strategy than doing it the other way around. Clear? And coming to the mindset on the day of the exam, see what happens, especially the 2 hours break, that is like say 9 to 12 you will have the first paper, 12 to 2 is the break period, and 2 to 5 is the second paper. So especially the break period and the second paper becomes very important here, because what I've seen is like, see, these 2 hours you can either revise, have your lunch and take rest and go to the second paper. But when you're going to the second paper, please don't carry your baggage of emotions from the first paper to the second paper, right? You never know, like say suppose your paper 1 has not happened properly or your paper 1 of your optional you have not done properly, that should not be carried forward to the second paper. Always tell yourself that you're going to give your best or giving your 100% in the second paper. So because see, even in my experience, if I have to tell you share my own experience here, we had 2 options then, and my Kannada literature paper, the first paper I had left 90 marks. I was not able to write. My writing speed was so slow in my Kannada literature, I was not able to complete, and I had to leave 90 marks in the first paper. But in the second paper, I was like about to go. I just left, and there were 2 good friends of mine who said, no, it's okay. Whatever it is, you at least give the second paper, right? And I did give the second paper, and though the marks that I expected I didn't get, but still I got an interview call that year. So that is the reason. What I'm trying to tell you is, take every paper as a fresh paper. Go with the same zeal, with the same strategy that you'll be giving your 100%, and take it as a complete new paper. Let that emotions not be carried to the second paper. So that's my humble request. And every time, even say suppose your essay has not gone well, tell yourself there are still 6 more papers including your optional. Say GS1 has not gone well, still you have GS2, 3 and 4, and again your optional as well. So never ever lose that spirit till the last question that you write of optional. So please keep this in mind. Do remember that there's nothing to lose from here. Everything that will happen from here onwards, it will be only a gain factor here, right? Because the experience that you would have gained in writing those 27 hours, right, and the knowledge that you've gained over the last 2 months compared to people who are not giving mains this year, right, that cannot be matched by anything else, right? And also see, there are only two things here. Either you will clear the exam, get a good service, right, or the experience that you've gained will help you in becoming the most eligible person to get that rank next year. So keep that in mind. And also don't be harsh on yourself. See, not completing the syllabus, not revising, not able to write so many tests, all that, right? It's something that is common with everybody. Nobody is perfect here. So don't be harsh on yourself. And also, you know that you are among that chosen few, right, in that 10,000, and give it all, give it your best, give your 100%. That's what you need to do, and trust yourself that you know more than what you think you do, right? Keep this in mind. And you see, your mind can do impossible things, and once you start writing, you might feel that, okay, I'm not able to recollect things, but once you start writing, your mind connects with so many things that you've read from day one of your UPSC journey, and that thoughts will be converted into words on the paper. So trust me, take the blessings of your parents, and all the best. Do well.